In this episode, we're going to give you an update on the DCC drawer. So let's get inside. Howdy train fans, welcome back to the Chattanooga Southern Railroad. So I'm over here at my DCC drawer. I've been doing a little bit of work on it over this weekend along with some of the other wiring. And I thought I'd give you an update about where I am with this. If you haven't seen the build of this or the right after installation of it, I recommend you go watch those videos. But I've added some things since then and thought I'd share that with you right now. So this is my DCC drawer. It also houses what will be my LCC system. A couple things that I have already added is I've added this light, or mocked up this light. It's an LED light that shines light down. So I have that for the drawer. I also have a mount here that could handle my iPad, so that if I want to hold that or hold my phone up here, I can do that if I want to watch videos or something like that. I've also added these two handles here to make it much easier to pull this drawer out. So basically you just release this, the drawer comes all the way out and locks like that. Oops. In that position. And as you can see, it's pretty well lit. And what I'll do is I'm going to move this camera around so you can see a little bit better view from behind me. Okay, so here we are at the DCC drawer. So if you watched my power up video for bringing power distribution, the main power distribution into this, you'll know that this switch here turns everything on. So when I flip that, everything here lights up. And what you'll see is I have my Digitrax command station here, which runs up through a circuit breaker into two distribution blocks, and then these wires go out to my bus, my DCC bus that runs all the way around the layout. Next over is, if you watched one of my shorts, this is the ESU programmer that I just got. I just mounted it, got it where I want it. I haven't wired it over to the track yet, and I'll explain that in a second. Here I have my Digitrax LNW1. This gives me my ability to use a cell phone throttle type of app to run my trains, and I actually really like that. So if I got friends that come over, and it kind of gets them involved in it. Next to that, I have a computer power source. This is a 500 watt thermal take brand Smart Series power supply. And what this is going to be doing is powering up my LCC system. So my LCC system is going to control all my switch machines. It's going to control my signaling system. It's going to control all my low voltage wire lighting system, like within the buildings and around the towns. But it's also going to control the overhead lighting for the layout once I get those LEDs installed too. And 500 watts is plenty of power to do that. The way this works is it runs up through this wire bus into this particular node. You can buy these on Amazon.com, and what this does is it takes that power coming out of this computer power supply and breaks it down into its respective thing. So I have 12 volt, I have 5 volt, I have 3 volt, and then I think I have 1.5 volt. It has a USB capability to charge anything. I've got USB charging capability here at the station. The other thing that I did, if you watched one of my previous videos, I only had 2 tracks here. I now have added a third one, and the reason for that is this track will be dedicated programming track for the DCC here. The second track in will be the dedicated programming track for the ESU programmer. Okay, it's still DCC, but I wanted to have a separate track specific for that. And then the third track in here is going to be a layout or mainline duplicating track. So it'll have the same capabilities that the track above on the layout has, and that's so that I can move directly from the programming track out to here to double check anything that I've done programming for. If you didn't see the previous video, one of the other features this particular table has is the ability to slide. I have a slide out table on this side, that this is where I can put, you see that? I can put my laptop here. I have two USB cables that come up, one from this and one from the Digitrax, to hook into my laptop so that I can do programming through the software on there. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. So one of the things I am going to be doing, I do need to do the wiring to each of these respective tracks based off of which device it's coming from. And what I've decided to do, because I didn't want wire and alligator clips like this full time on here, right? Because you never know when an alligator clip could come loose, and we don't want that, right? So I picked up off of Amazon some of this cheap styrene plastic square tubing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to run that down this sideline here and then use that as a conduit to bring my wires up to each of these three tracks from the respective devices, because everything has to come through either here or through the back side of this. So anyway, that's the system in a nutshell. The other beauty of having this DCC drawer here is I have this access port here for the tunnel, which is double duty. So number one, it gives me the ability to put a car right up on, or a locomotive right up on the layout and run it. But this also gives me quick access for the tunnel in case I have a derailment in the tunnel there. So there you go. An update about the current status of the DCC/LCC drawer. At this point, got a little more work to do, but I've been making some progress. I've been kind of bouncing back and forth between this and the layout wiring, because as you all well know, running all those feeders and hooking them all in, that's a tedious process, and putting some panels together and stuff like that. But I'll have a more detailed video about that coming down the pike. Until then, we'll see you on down the tracks. Bye.